What is a comic book? Comic book, it is a series of a drawing that tells a story. Series means drawing that are drawn, someone draw them next to each other to tell us a story. Like this picture here. Okay. So a comic book, it is a series of drawing that tells a story. Look at this picture here. This, when you see this is a comic book. This is a comic book. See, it's a drawing, not a real drawing, not for real people. And each one of the characters have a dialogue. What is a dialogue? This is a dialogue. The box here, and there we have an arrow pointed to this person to tell us that this person is saying this thing, or this character is saying this thing. Okay? The characters must have a dialogue as in the pictures below. See, here we have two bears. Up. You can know that this bear, the one with the purple shirt, is the one who said this, because this is the dialogue, this white box, and the arrow here is going to his mouth, okay? And here, the bear with the red, Benny, you should take 2 trips. No, thanks, 1 was enough. It doesn't have everything to be funny, but they call it comic books because of the drawing, okay? It doesn't have to be comedy. Look here. See, there is no box here, but there is an arrow or a dash that you can know that this character is saying this thing, okay? So this, we call it a dialogue, what the character is saying. Sometimes we may have a narrator. When we have a narrator box, it will be like this. Look at this yellow box. Okay, there is no arrow. So no one is saying this line. Here, there is no arrow. No one is saying this line. There's an arrow for the old man and arrow for this woman. And here, no. So who will be saying this? The narrator. Okay? This is an example. What should we do today, Peppy? We could go, this is Peppy. We could go skating, except that the ice melted long time ago. I know what. Well, we will do. Let's walk to town and go shopping. See here, on the way to town, Peppy found a ditch. Who is saying this? The narrator is saying this line, because there is no like a dash or an arrow to show us who is saying this. So it is not a character, it is the narrator. Remember ditch? It's gully. We took it on fly, eagle, fly. A hole in the ground that has water. So on the way to the town, Peppy found a ditch. So she went inside the ditch. I like ditches. I'm pretending to be a boat. Then she fell in the water. I mean a submarine. Okay? Each picture here, see there is a picture here. We call it, this is a panel. This is 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel, 4 panel. How do I count the panels? I will count the boxes that have a picture inside it. That's 1, That is to see each box is separate from the other. There are borders around each box to separate from the other one. So that's a panel 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we call this a dialogue. We call the picture a panel, and we call the dialogue with no arrow to the character. We call it the narrator dialogue. That's it. That's mainly what we have to know about. We will talk about final exams on Sunday, inshallah. It's going to be not this Sunday, the Sunday after it, after 2 weeks. Yeah. But now, let's go back to our lesson. Do you have any question? This is mainly what you have to know about comic books. You have to know what are comic books. Did you know what are comic books? When you see one, will you know that this is a comic book? Yalla, answer me on the chat. Did you know what is a comic book? It is fun to read. Have you ever read a comic book before? Yeah? You should be reading a lot this vacation or while we are at home. You didn't read, Ya Ali, or you didn't understand? Ali, you didn't read, but did you understand? Okay, now open your books on page 420 on Readers and Writers Notebook. 420. Excellent, ya Hala. On this page, we have a comic for Two Bad Ants. This is the story about two bad ants, different than our story. Okay. Did you open your books? So that is the page. Okay. Two Bad Ants. Key features of a comic book. How would you know that this is a comic book? It tells a story using a series of drawings. And you do not have, like, what is the difference between a normal story and a comic book story? On a normal story, they will list you a big paragraph on a page, or paragraphs, more than one paragraph, and you will have only one picture with no dialogue, only to imagine what you are reading, okay? But on comic book, you will not have a big paragraph. No, you will have a group of pictures or a group of drawings, and each character's dialogue is a part of the drawing. Sometimes use this narration. Let's see this. The Crystal Palace Giant. Here we have two ants. Each one have a dialogue. Okay? I am tired of working all day to keep the queen happy. The other ant is saying, see, from the arrow you could know who is talking. Me too. Let's go back to that palace with the crystals. We can live there. Then they arrived here. Can you see the crystals? Sometimes when the characters say the same word, the same sentence, what will they do? They will draw like a box or a chart at the top of their heads, and the arrow will go to both their mouth, like this. Home at last. The two of them said the same sentence. Home at last. Here, we do not have an arrow on this picture, right? So what will we say about this picture? That the narrator is talking now. The ants make their living arrangements and settle in for the night. Could this happen in real life? Usually comic books are fantasy. Okay. Did you see here? We have two boxes for the same character. So what do? We read the first one at the top, then we go down. So we will read this one first. Did you hear something? Then we will read this one, because the bottom here, we have this. And then this is the last one. You will go from the top. Did you hear something? Then, you mean that awful thunder? Then, what could it be? Again, both ants are talking together. Ah! One of them is talking now. It is a giant. Where have you been, my little ones? Now they went back home, and this is their mother. Where have you been, my little ones? Both of them are talking now. To a place we will never ever go again. Okay, let's answer the questions. How many panels are used to tell the story? Panel are the boxes where we have pictures inside them. Yalla, tell me, someone answer me. Look at yalla, tell me. 6, excellent. 6, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer is 6. Right here on the line 6. Under number 1. Yes, excellent. Readers and writers, ya Hala Sami. Readers and writers. Now, question 2. Draw a circle around the same dialogue that is spoken by more than one character. And you will draw a circle on a dialogue that have two arrows pointed to the same sentence pointed to the two characters. So we will circle panel 2, this. We will circle this at panel 5. And we will circle this at panel 6. So we'll circle 3 dialogues. This one. Let me show you. This one. This one. And this one. Okay. And here the answer was, it's hard to write, 6. Okay. Let's read now the third question. Draw a box around any narration. Where is the narrator box? I'll draw it with a different color. It is box number 3 or panel number 3, right? Where we do not have, where we do not have an arrow pointed to any character. It's hard to draw. To draw this, okay? The one on pink. Okay. Now the last question. Tell how you knew the line was narration, not a dialogue. How did we know that this line was for a narrator, not for dialogue? How did we know? Tell me. Tell me on the chat. How did you know that this was the narrator? So how did I know? It was told from a third person point of view, not the characters. Third person means that it is someone out, not from the characters, okay? It does not appear in a word bubble. This is a word bubble. We do not have a word bubble for the narrator. Yalla, right. Yes. Yes. Excellent answers. Yalla, copy the answer. Now, did you finish? You will talk about the exams later, inshallah. On Sunday, I will tell you more about the exams, okay? Good. Okay, now if you finish, well, it is, you can't finish it quickly. Number 2 and the 3, Sidra, it's only circle. We circle it together before. This is number 2, the answers. Circle the panel that they circle the dialogue that is spoken by both characters. This one, and this one. Where is the third one? Here it is. And circle the box that have a narrator with pink. This is it. How did you know that this was the narrator dialogue or the narrator box or narrator speaking? Because it was told from a third person. Third person means that a character, that he is not a character in the story, and it does not appear in a word bubble. Yalla, let's move on to the read RTV, to the writing, sorry. What do you want, Sham? Page, what do you want, Ahmed? Why are you late, ya Ahmed? You haven't joined us for a long time, right? What, Ahmed?
You were talking about the exam. What did you say about it?
It's going to be after 2 weeks, not this Sunday, not the coming Sunday, the Sunday after it. On Sunday,
Means that after 2 weeks we will have the final exam.
Yes, they are going to be online, and I will show you how to do it on Sunday, inshallah. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yalla, go now. Let me just stop the share. Go now to the writing. Go now to the writing. Okay. We have the same. We have the same here, the same comic but different questions, okay? Let's see the questions, page 46 on the writing. 46, you can see the page number here. 46 on the writing booklet. Yes, yes.